Famous Canadian environmentalist Dr. David Suzuki, a renowned geneticist and author, sees environmental issues as having spiritual consequences. Here's Melinda Esterbrooks with David Suzuki taking a break from promoting his new autobiography.
Do we really need to be worried? I mean, is this something is my despair legitimate?
Oh, you can't have despair because then you'll give up, basically. But you have to have hope. You have to be frightened. You have to be frightened because when a conservative magazine like Time is saying, be worried, be very worried on their front cover, and I was thrilled when I read the article because there was no indication that there's no controversy. They just said it's happening, and this is what the effects are going to be, and this is what we have to do to get out of it. Now, when I first became convinced that global warming was happening, it was 1988. Up until then, I knew about it, but I thought, oh, no, that's too far away. Then a guy sat me down, and he just showed me what we knew in 1988. And I said, oh, my God, we got to do something. But back then, I still thought it was going to be 100, 150 years before it would kick in. But since then, every year, the information that comes back is more, it's worse than we ever expected. And, you know, the way I look at it is this. Wayne Gretzky grew up in southern Ontario, and he learned to play hockey because his dad used to make a rink in the backyard every winter, and that's how he learned to skate. Today in southern Ontario, you can't make a rink in your backyard because it's too warm. In the whole planet, because of the air, the water, the soil, everything is really connected to everything else. We're all connected through the air. We're connected through the water cycle that is constantly rolling around the planet. And when we live within an ecosystem, we are sharing that air, water, and soil with other creatures. And, you know, it's life that creates the soil. It's life that filters the water for us. It's life that changes carbon dioxide for oxygen. So we're still a part of a much bigger system. But we tend, since most of us in Canada especially, over 85% of us live in big cities. And we think, oh, well, we're not like the other. We don't need nature. You know, I was at TVO 2 days ago, and a woman was gushing all over me, and she said, you know, the only thing I don't like about you environmentalists is my kids are always coming home with these insects and things, and I go, ugh, get those things. And I said, that is exactly the wrong thing. You're teaching your children to be afraid of nature. But they share the planet with us, and they're part of what keeps the planet alive and healthy for us. But in a city, we think, oh, no, we don't need nature. And what happens then? Our kids don't know when you turn the tap on, where does it come from? When you turn on the lights, where's the electricity come from? When you flush the toilet or put the garbage on the curb, what happens to it? Kids don't know that. So then it's easy to say, oh, well, it's the economy that delivers that. If you've got a strong economy, you can get clean water and lots of energy and garbage service and all that stuff. But of course, ultimately, all of that comes from Mother Earth. Mother Earth is what gives us our energy and gives us our food and gives us our clean air. And when we're done using whatever we use, we throw it back into our mother. So I think that it's important to realize everything is interconnected. And when you see that we are a part of this great community of organisms, then you realize that there are sacred places all over the planet. And we go there with reverence. We don't go looking for opportunities and something to cut down and use. So it's just that attitude of being a part of a greater system and greater humility and of how nature is who we are and where we will go after we die. Even the vast bulk of evangelicals in the United States have said, look, the earth and everything on it is the creation. This is God's gift. Whether it's whether your God is a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or whatever, it doesn't matter. God gave us this amazing place and made our lives possible. And what we are doing to it is a sin. It's a sin against that God. And that's a very, very powerful message. And I think the faith community gets it. They've been slow to jump on the environmental bandwagon, but they are certainly